Buccaneers have won the coin toss and have elected to receive. Kick went out of bounds, and Tampa takes the ball at the 35, and Vinny Testaverde at the helm, playing very impressive football this year. The offensive front that has protected him so well: Paul Gruber, Carl Baxton for his second start, Bubba Grimes at center, Ian Beckles, Rob Taylor, and Ron Hall at the tight end. Baxton receivers: John Harvey in 4, Gary Anderson, Reggie Cobb. Wide receivers: Frank Pillow and Mark Carrier. 1st and 10 for the Bucs from their own 35. This is Cobb, and Cobb across the 40 to about the 47-yard line. A couple of yards shy of the first down, stopped by Ken Norton. And the defense that the Cowboys will be throwing out there today at the ends: Daniel Stubbs and Jim Jeffcoat. The tackles: Jimmy Jones and Danny Noonan. Linebacking core: Jack Del Rio, Eugene Lockhart, and Ken Norton. And the secondary nicked up indeed: Holt, Hendricks, Horton, and Albritton. 2nd and 2. On the ground again, Harvey. And Harvey strung out on the run. Maybe a gain of 1 as you take a look at Gary Anderson on the sidelines. And Randy, he has been the big spark plug for the Bucs this year.
Exactly, leading the NFL in all-around yardage for a running back. He's had a great season so far, but Ray Perkins likes to emphasize the fact that he can plug people in now. He has the depth to play different people at different positions, and the team will not suffer. But I look for Reggie Cobb at fullback to be emphasized more today with Gary Anderson out of the lineup.
3rd and 1 from the 44. On the ground again and up and over. Cobb leaping for the first down, and it looks as if he has it from here, Randy.
And we'll see Reggie Cobb dive over the top here, number 32. That's a specialty of Gary Anderson. He doesn't get quite the height Anderson would normally get, but at his size, he's got more momentum, and that carries him for the first down.
So the ball marked at the 45 of Tampa. They pick up the first down.
And today could be a real test of Reggie Cobb, number 33 there you see on your screen. His all-around ability and his conditioning, because he has not been featured since last year when he was at the University of Tennessee.
Frank Pillow to the top of your screen. Mark Carrier to the bottom. This is Harvey in motion. Testaverde to pass. Complete to the sidelines to Pillow, and Pillow up near the first down marker and make that Ron Hall, the big tight end out of Hawaii. And he gained a yard more than necessary for the first down.
This is a good example of the new type of passing offense that Vinny Testaverde and the Bucs have been featuring. It's very conservative. Vinny doesn't go very far downfield, but he takes safe passes. That's the main reason his quarterback rating is now 3rd in the NFL at 105.
Ball marked at the 44 of Dallas. 1st and 10. Testaverde back to a second pass. Won't get it off as he's sacked. Looked to be Danny Noonan.
And defensive end Danny Stubbs, number 96, told us the key to getting after Tampa Bay is taking Anderson out of the game and getting after Vinny Testaverde. You see Noonan at 73 over Grimes, number 60, the center. He just beats him clean. There's some games around there. He loses Grimes, and it was a good example of tenacity and staying with it by Danny Noonan.
And a timeout charged to Tampa Bay as Vinny Testaverde comes up limping after that sack by Danny Noonan. We'll be back in just a moment.
Danny Noonan, number 73, come from right in front of Vinny Testaverde in the middle of your screen. But the thing to watch here is Testaverde's right knee gets driven down into the turf. Everybody falls on top of him, and he came up a little bit limping. Vinny now has got to be in the back of his mind concerned with the pass rush from the Cowboys.
And a loss of 8 on the play, making it 2nd and 18. Testaverde going up top, looking for Pillow, who slipped, and it's intercepted. Issiac Holt comes up with the interception for the Cowboys. And that is Holt's 2nd interception of the season. He has the only 2 Cowboy interceptions of the year.
Coming into this game, Vinny only had 3 interceptions. Here we see Pillow's going to be stumbling a little bit. but it would appear, even if he hadn't stumbled, that it was very, very well covered by Issiac Holt on that play, possibly an ill-advised pass. And we'll see the very end of it as Pillow falls down. Nice play reaching back for the ball by Issiac Holt.
Testaverde coming into the game had thrown 96 passes without an interception, and Holt comes up with his second pick of the year. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. Ball at their own 14. Aikman keeps it on the ground to Smith. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Loss of 1 on the play.
This Tampa Bay Bucs defense has always been a very physical one in the middle. Now they've got the outside speed to go with it.
Roderick Thomas on the stop. Troy Aikman had an impressive outing against the Bucs last time out. 17 of 24. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. There are the numbers. 2nd and 11 from the 13. Flag on a play. Aikman throws it complete to Jay Novacek, who gets up near the 20. Jerry Markwright is the referee, head of today's crew.
I think it was simple, guys. It was motion in the Dallas backfield.
He calls over the head linesman, Leo Miles, to make certain he's got the house cleaning in order.
It's going to be illegal procedure on number 32.
There's no illegal motion on the play. The back was motionless at the snap. 2nd down.
The offensive line that Aikman operating behind, 2 and 8. Crawford Kerr, Mark Stepnowski, John Giesick, Nate Newton, and Jay Novacek. The backfield, Emmett Smith and a frustrated Alonzo Highsmith. Wide receivers, Kelvin Martin and Dennis McKinnon playing with a banged-up knee. Darrell Johnston in, Emmett Smith out. 3rd and 5. And there's a flag thrown on the play before the play starts. People having difficulties adjusting to that 25-second play clock. The defense of Tampa Bay, Reuben Davis, Jim Scow at the ends, nose tackle Kurt Jarvis, linebacking core. The strength of this defense, Roderick Thomas, Eugene Marr, Winston Moss on the inside here, Kevin Murphy on the outside, and the secondary, Reynolds, Wayne Haddix, the corners, the safeties from Penn State, Mark Robinson and Harry Hamilton. 3rd and 10. Aikman, good time. Throws it incomplete. Intended receiver was Michael Irvin. And Randy, that looked like a catchable ball.
I think it was definitely a catchable ball, especially when you consider Tampa Bay dropped off. They lined up Broderick Thomas as a rusher and dropped him back into the coverage. You see him there, number 51 for Tampa. You'll see Irvin cross into there. The ball is in his hand. But also in the back of his mind, he's got to be thinking about Hamilton, number 39, that's in there. The safety for Tampa is in there getting ready to hit him.
Mike Saxon, second leading punter in the NFC. On the punt, back deep, Willie Drury for the Bucs. Saxon. And Drury from the 40. Drop. Darrell Johnston down to limit him to a 4-yard return on a 45-yard punt. Tampa ball when we come back. We're describing Tampa at the top of the show. They're in 2nd place in the NFC Central Division with an opportunity to gain on the rest of the division, specifically Chicago, because this is a bye week for the Central. 1st and 10 for the Bucs. Ball at their own 45. Testaverde throws it complete to Mark Carrier for the 1st down.
And without Bruce Hill, number 84, in the game for Tampa, Mark Carrier has got to be a marked man as far as the Dallas Cowboys defense is concerned. They don't know really what Frank Pillow can do. They don't know what Peebles can do. They know what Carrier can do. He's a legitimate all-pro receiver, and they've got to compensate for him. He was very well covered there. It was a good pass and a very good catch by Carrier.
17-yard pass play, the last one. First and 10 from the 38 of the Cowboys. On the ground, Cobb spinning. Spun all the way for a 1-yard gain, stopped by Vince Albritton. 9:20 remaining in the first quarter. No score here.
We talked about earlier with that standings in the NFC Central. You know, Tampa at 4-2 is in second place. We could go on for years trying to discuss exactly how the scheduling is done in the NFL, but it's a known fact, fifth-place teams really get good scheduling breaks, and Tampa's got scheduling breaks. They've got potential to go through for a very, very good winning season with their schedule. 2nd and 9, 3 wideouts in. Cobb, the lone back. Testaverde throws it complete. Pillow for yet another first down. 22-yard pass play from Testaverde to the third-year player Frank Pillow out of Tennessee State. And this is the kind of play Vinny Testaverde was not making in his first 3 years. He's getting pressure. He's got the poise to step up, find the receiver he wants crossing late, and it was a nice job by Pillow, almost stumbling and then finally tripping and falling. But kudos to Vinny Testaverde. Very, very cool play.
Pillow was a little frustrated last week that Danny Peebles, third on the depth chart, got into the Green Bay game before him. He wants to show he can play. 1st and 10. Cobb trying to slip and drive his way ahead for 2 yards. Ken Norton doing a good job pressuring and flushing him out that time. Ray Perkins, in his 4th season as head coach, says he's right on target as far as his 5-year game plan of making his team a winner.
This team's going to have an opportunity, like I said earlier, to have a successful record. What's going to be key for them is playing at a consistent level every week and not peaks and valleys. They were in a valley last time they played Dallas. Ray Perkins says, I knew my guys weren't ready to play. This time, they're focused, they're ready.
2nd and 8 from the 13 of Dallas. Testaverde dropped. 2nd sack of the afternoon for the Cowboys, and 2nd sack specifically for Danny Noonan. A loss of 7 on the play, so Noonan has pushed Testaverde back for a total of 15 yards on 2 sacks.
And we talked earlier about the defensive backfield being banged up for the Dallas Cowboys. You wouldn't expect them to take too many chances, but Danny Noonan here with a blitz to his left overpowers Grimes, the center, number 60, and Danny Noonan, number 73, is all over Vinny Testaverde.
4 wideouts in on 3rd and 15. Ball at the 20. 6 defensive backs in for the Cowboys. Did he trap it? Incomplete, as Testaverde threw it low off the carpet that time. Intended receiver was Frank Pillow.
Slow motion for the end of the play. Watch the ball hit the ground right there. Good trap into your body, and a nice call by the umpire, who was right on the play.
So Steve Christie, the rookie out of William & Mary, who has 11 consecutive field goals, comes on to attempt a 37-yarder. Up, and it's good. No, it's no good. So Christie, it will stick at 11 in a row. Leading scorer in the NFC with 50 points fails on that one. FC in last place with a mark of 2-4. Their 2 victories have come over San Diego and Tampa. 1st and 10. Dallas at its own 20. No score in the first quarter. Aikman keeps it on the ground. Smith. And Smith, no gain on the play, strung out nicely by the Tampa defense.
And thus far, Broderick Thomas of the Tampa Bay Bucs and this defense is coming through with their vow. Emmitt Smith will not run wild on us again. And we saw those standings of the NFC Central Division, NFC East Division, with Dallas down at the bottom. You know, this is a team a week ago we went into Phoenix and talked about playoffs, the chance of being 3-3. And Danny Stubbs, their defensive end, number 96, says, maybe I was a little misquoted. I said I was used to playing with playoff teams, not that this was the playoff team.
Big difference. 2nd and 10 out of the I formation. On the ground again, Smith. And Emmitt Smith this time scampers ahead for about 6 yards. Will bring up a 3rd and 4 situation stopped by Kevin Murphy.
Kurt Jarvis is the nose guard for the Tampa Bay defense, and he takes a little bit of a gamble and a guess, taking the wrong side on Stepnoski, which opens up the hole in the middle of the Tampa Bay defense. Last time they played Dallas, down in Dallas, Kurt Jarvis, number 95, got boloed by Alonzo Highsmith on a pass blocking block. He said he was out cold. He had no idea where he was.
3 wideouts in on 3rd and 4. Michael Irvin to the near side. Aikman has it batted and nearly intercepted. It looked to be Winston Moss who got a hand on that one, and it was up high enough that Novacek almost could have come away with the catch anyway.
Novacek appeared to have a little bit of a problem with his depth perception. That ball went up in the air. He kind of looked like he would not be much of a threat on a basketball court, because that ball went up there, and he goes to jump for it. He jumped about 1.5 seconds before he really needed to. Now watch the top of your screen right there. The ball is blocked by Moss. He doesn't know where it's going. Novacek didn't have a clue and didn't have a chance to catch it.
And this is Mike Saxon about the punt, waiting to catch this. Willie Drury. Saxon, not a good one at all. And heads out of bounds at about the 40 of Tampa. So the Bucs will operate with good field position. No score here in the first quarter.
Talk about a 4-year plan with the quarterback. Look at Vinny Testaverde's numbers this year in 1990 compared to his others. The completion for spectacular in previous years, but the big difference, interceptions. He's got 1 today, but this guy threw nothing but picks for 2 years in the last 2 seasons.
Major league picks. So keeps this one on the ground. John Harvey. Harvey maybe a 2-yard gain. John Harvey, UTEP's all-time rushing, touchdown, and scoring leader, was on the Bucs developmental squad last year and getting the chance to play. And Ray Perkins really had some high praise, saying he doesn't think he'll lose a step at all with Gary Anderson now. That's pretty strong, Randy.
Well, all respect to Ray Perkins, I disagree very strongly. I think Anderson has been the difference in this offense. He's why Vinny Testaverde's had better passing percentage, because he's put a legitimate threat in the backfield in the running game.
On 2nd and 8, Testaverde throws it incomplete. Intended receiver was Reggie Cobb, the rookie out of Tennessee.
There's a 3rd down and 8.
And Ray Perkins, who calls the shots. Dallas, boy, did they have a rough one last week against Phoenix in total yards, and not starting strong here.
Well, they're right on pace so far. You know, we asked Troy Aikman yesterday when we talked to him, well, Troy, at what point in the second quarter will you go over your total offense for last week? He just kind of laughed and looked at us and said, well, God, I hope so.
3rd and 8, 4 wideouts in for the Bucs. All at their own 39. Testaverde completes the carry for the 1st down. And boy, does Carrier attract a crowd. A 30-yard pass play.
And with his numbers last year, Mark Carrier is guaranteed to draw crowds, especially with Hill out of the game, his running buddy on the other side. A simple crossing pattern, and I'm sorry, if you get Billy Bates, number 40, in a foot race with Mark Carrier one-on-one, that is a severe matchup, because Billy Bates, as good as he is on special teams, has only got average speed for a defensive back.
No score with 3:45 remaining in the first. Bucs 1st and 10 from the 31 of Dallas. Complete. They called it a reception, and good enough for another 1st down. So Mark Carrier, 3 big receptions thus far for 59 yards. That in the first quarter.
And Carrier is very much, you talk about streaky quarterbacks, Carrier is a streaky wide receiver. When he gets hot and on a roll is when he is at his most dangerous. And that was a fine catch, because Vinny put that ball down there about 9 to 12 inches off the ground. The only person that had a chance to catch that ball was Mark Carrier.
And they're going to review this one as the umpire gets the signal from upstairs. So starting at this point, we'll start the 2-minute count. That's the limit that the replay official Bob Beeks will have to make a judgment on this play.
James, have you ever kind of wondered lately in professional sports, it seems like the guys in the striped shirts, the officials are getting more and more involved in being part of the game. I always thought they were supposed to be sort of an ancillary type of a viewer of the game, and to be occasionally kind of like a boxing referee. One more look at it. Let's see the ball come in. Ball's good. Play stand.
I know Barry Bonds of the Pittsburgh Pirates seconds you on that. He says the umpires had just taken over this year in Major League Baseball.
I wish I had Roger Clemens here to talk about that subject.
That review only took 40 seconds as Reggie Cobb takes the handoff and gets inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. Ken Norton on the stop, but he got enough for the first down on that play.
It hasn't been since 1979 as the Bucs have had an effective running game. They're big, they're physical up front, and on that play, they just gashed them in the middle and manhandled their people man on man. And you got to look at those guys, Grimes, Bax, and Beckles in the middle, that they made the difference on that play.
First and goal, ball marked at the 7. Cobb, the lone back for the Bucs, and the ball carrier, and hit hard and dropped. Eugene Lockhart. And Lockhart, boy, is he coming off of a good year. All-Pro last season. And in great shape. And was very candid, Randy, in talking with you about the defense is not a great defense, so they've got to be ready all the time.
They're a real intensity level kind of a team. They're the kind of defense that makes up for a few physical inadequacies. Eugene Lockhart is their legitimate star. He goes sideline to sideline. He can stay with anybody, and he'll hit anything that moves.
Second and goal, ball on the 6. Incomplete. No flag on the play. Intended receiver was Ron Hall, and Randy inside the 20. This is where Ray Perkins would like to pick up a few more touchdowns. They've been inside here 20 times, 9 TDs, and 8 field goals.
That's right, James, and it's been a real problem for Tampa, and that's been punching the ball in. And I think a lot of that emphasis when you get down here has got to go to the quarterback. It's got to go to the passing game. Running is very, very important, but you can put some defenses in bad positions. As good as they run it, play action works great, but not on third down.
Third and goal. Carrier and Peebles to the near side. This is Carrier in motion. Intended receiver was Carrier, and Bates, Bill Bates, defends that one nicely. No flag on the play.
And that's the kind of position that Billy Bates is very, very good at. You put him in a zone. He's played the middle linebacker in their nickel defense. He gets back there. He can occupy an area. He doesn't have to worry about being man-on-man. And here's Mark Carey, number 88, going in motion. You'll see him cross over the middle, and Billy Bates has got his eyes on him all the way. And you'll see number 40 right there. Dives in front of it and knocks it down, and actually was mad that he didn't catch that ball.
So Steve Christie, who missed a 37-yarder, will attempt this 23-yarder, and this one is good. So Tampa Bay gets on the scoreboard first on the foot of Steve Christie and take a 3-0 lead. Live here in Tampa, Florida, here at Tampa Stadium, 300 seats shy of a sellout for this rematch between the Cowboys and the Buccaneers. James Brown along with Randy Cross in Tampa goes on the scoreboard first thanks to Steve Christie's 23-yard field goal. And Dallas looking to come off of a franchise low of only 100 total yards last week, Randy.
It was a game Jimmy Johnson right there, the head coach of Dallas, would soon forget. I told him, hey, on our veteran team when I was playing, we wouldn't watch a film like that. Jimmy Johnson looked at me and kind of smiled and says, you know, Randy, I'd love not to get to watch that film, but we're so inexperienced, we've got to look at it and learn from it.
And learn is what the Bucs have done under Ray Perkins. Steve Christie unseated Donald Igwe-Brike here, and one of the reasons, much more depth on his kickoffs. And Randy, a lot of people, I guess, don't really focus on how important an aspect that is.
I think two of the most important aspects of football are field position and time of possession.
And Christie puts this one nicely. James Dixon from the end zone. And Dixon walloped at about the 11. Bruce Perkins in there with the tackle.
And Troy Aikman has taken a beating so far this year, as you can see. 22 sacks against the Dallas Cowboys, all more than likely hitting the body of number 8, and each sore. It's only the 6th game, Troy. If you think you're sore now, wait until 16.
And this is a quarterback, 6'4", 216, but getting hit by a pro-size lineman is no fun. 1:15 remaining in the first quarter. Aikman back to pass and on first down. Throws it complete to Tommy Agee, and there's a flag on the play as Agee gets more than the necessary yardage for a first down. But let's take a look and see what the call is.
It would appear to be defensive holding coming deep out of the backfield.
Randy, you were on that one.
Holding, defense, penalty declined, first down.
A 14-yard pass play from Aikman to Agee.
Agee, number 32 or 33, is a guy that's really come on strong. 34, I'm sorry, has been a guy that has come on strong. His injuries are better. He was hobbled a little bit by a knee, but look at him cutting and twisting and turning. Jimmy Johnson is high on Agee, number 34.
Under a minute to play, Cowboys out of the I formation. On the ground again, this is Emmitt Smith. And Smith runs hard, looks to have the first down, and he's got some inspiration today. He's got 47 friends and relatives having come up to watch him play today.
Which can cost you a little bit of money, even if you are a high draft pick as a rookie. He also has his motivation, Reuben Davis, talking about him in the papers, and it's an article that Smith carried around in his playbook all week long. And Smith finally busts loose. You know, Broderick Thomas told us Friday, I can't figure out how this guy got 121 yards last time. He get kind of 5 and he get kind of 3. How'd he do it?
They got 11 the last play and maybe 2 this play. And that'll be it for the first quarter of play here in Tampa Stadium. That's the end of the first quarter with the score Tampa 3, Dallas nothing. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment.
Coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Honda, maker of fine quality automobiles. Test drive a Honda at your local dealer today. Hewlett Packard LaserJet printers, they'll get you noticed. And by Budweiser with that clean, crisp, cold taste. Nothing beats a Bud.
Splendiferous afternoon here in Tampa, Florida. And the Bucs early lead, 3-0. And I guess it's splendiferous only if you're watching and not playing, because take a look at what the field temperature is.
Oh, it's only 90? It must be nice autumn, kind of fall weather here in Florida. Only 90 degrees? Piece of cake.
Out of the eye, 2nd and 8 for the Cowboys. Emmitt Smith. And Smith seemed to have lost his footing on that play. And we'll call that no gain. We'll bring up a 3rd and 8.
And Dallas, even though they have not been successful to this point running the ball, is willing to stay with it, even though they haven't been successful, to emphasize it. They know they have to run it. They've got to get time of possession off the clock. They need to control the clock, keep their defense off the field. Another point that Troy Aikman told us, he says, look, you look for number 31 on their defense, Rodney Rice. We've got to make Rodney Rice play well against us in the nickel. We want to get him matched up.
3 wide receiver set. Darrell Johnston, the lone back for the Cowboys. Aikman going up top for McKinnon. There's a flag on the play, and Ricky Reynolds had his hands on the ball, but there is a flag on the play.
There was a little bumping downfield around the 30-35-yard line, and from the looks of that flag coming in there, it could be a little defensive holding on Reynolds, hitting him past the 5-yard limit.
Illegal contact foul, number 26, defense, 5 yards, automatic first down.
I think he means 29, Ricky Reynolds.
Yeah, because John Harvey is on the bench.
And remember, folks, it's 5 yards down the field. Then you can't touch him if you don't have your eyes on the ball. And he does contact him earlier. We didn't quite get a good shot of it and see it, but he contacted him earlier, and it was past the 5-yard limit. And it was against 29, Ricky Reynolds. John Harvey's a heck of a halfback. I wouldn't want to put pressure on him and make him cover those guys one-on-one.
I'm sure he yelled from the sidelines and say, hey, not me. 1st and 10 for Dallas. Ball at their own 48. Just underway here in the second quarter. Aikman throws it complete, and it's dropped. Wayne Haddix applied a wicked hit to Emmitt Smith. And Smith had it for all of a fraction of a second before that major hit.
Haddix sees Emmitt Smith coming the whole way. He sees the ball coming the whole way. Emmitt Smith has got fairly good hands for a running back, but when you get belted right in the middle of the back like that, it jars both arms wide open. You cannot hold on to a ball. Great anticipation by Wayne Haddix.
Boy, this free agent has really been a jewel of a find for Ray Perkins. 2nd and 10, complete to Awalt, and Awalt looks to have enough for the first down for Dallas. And indeed, he does. 11-yard pass play. 2 good receiving tight ends for Dallas, Jay Novacek and Rob Awalt. Both, of course, previously with Phoenix.
And they've been highly featured in this Dallas offense so far this year. Troy Aikman says, I like to throw to those tight ends. They're reliable. They've got good hands. He also told us yesterday, I want to get deep. We haven't gone deep often enough. We've got to stretch our offense.
1st and 10 from the 41 of the Bucs. Emmitt Smith trying to shake and bake, and dropped by Mark Robinson, the 7th-year pro out of Penn State, and a loss of 2 on the play. Ray Perkins says there's no player on his team that prepares better than Mark Robinson.
And the tight ends for Dallas, you've got to block well and you've got to catch well. Let's watch Awalt here, number 89, going against McCann's 52, sheds him, gets Eugene Marr, the linebacker, and cuts him down. That is a winning block by Rob Awalt. It was just the rest of the left side of the Dallas Cowboy line that broke down under the pressure.
2nd and 12 from the 43 of Tampa. Complete, short yardage, route run that time. As Dennis McKinnon, and McKinnon is suffering with a swollen knee, only 1 yard gained on the play, and a few Bucs a little upset with Dennis McKinnon.
Well, you know, in that last time they played 2 weeks ago, Dennis McKinnon got an opportunity to get a shot on Wayne Haddix. He was blocking for Emmitt Smith going into the end zone. I'm sorry, I believe it was Awalt going into the end zone on a touchdown. Haddix relaxed. McKinnon hit him low. It was perfectly legal block, legit. Haddix will now never relax around the offensive player.
4 wideouts in on 3rd and 11. Aikman out of the shotgun with time, throws it complete, and has the first down. So Troy Aikman finding Jay Novacek. Big-time receiver, 13-yard pass play. So Dallas keeps the drive alive. 11:31 remaining in the first half. Dallas trailing by 3.
And Dallas seems now to have said, okay, you're not going to let us run the ball that much. Let's stretch this defense a little bit and open it up. He hit Awalt earlier. Now he goes to Novacek for a very, very key first down.
Aikman was also very candid about wishing that he had some set wide receivers to complement the tight ends.
Oh, exactly. He doesn't have real top quality wide receivers.
Smith, quality running back, but some quality linebackers also for the Bucs, as Winston Moss drops him after a 3-yard scamper.
To expand on that a little bit, there is not a real quality group at wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. They don't have any real big stars. They've got Alexander Wright, who's unproven. Michael Irvin coming off knee surgery. James Dixon is now a running back instead of being a wide receiver. Kelvin Martin is pretty good. McKinnon's a possession kind of guy. Rod Harris, you get my point. They don't have a great star group. It's very important for these tight ends to be the key to their passing game.
2nd and 8 from the pro set. Agee trying to find a hole. Not much of one there. 1-yard run. And Randy, as we saw the scores flash across the screen, a possible upset in the making. New York Jets leading Buffalo 14-zip. That in the second quarter play.
But you know, Buffalo's one of those teams, James, that is never really quite sure how good they are. They're a team, let's say like Tampa. Tampa thinks they're real good, but they're not completely convinced yet. Buffalo's got the swagger. They're positive they're good, but they're not willing to pay the price and go out every week and prove it. And that's why I think Buffalo's susceptible to big upsets.
3rd and 7 from the 25 of Tampa. 4 wideouts in for the Cowboys. Aikman going up top. Incomplete. The intended receiver out of the backfield was Tommy Agee.
And Wayne Haddix and a group of defensive backs for Tampa there did a fine job because Aikman had all the time in the world, stepped up, and really had no one to fire that ball to.
So Ken Willis, the rookie out of Kentucky, will come on and attempt the field goal. His longest this year, 41 yards. This would be a 42-yarder. It's up. And it's no good. And Jimmy Johnson, you see the frustration there. His Cowboys trail by a field goal. When you take a look at the game summary, nothing really jumps out at you there, Randy, other than the fact that Tampa Bay has been starting with some decent field position, and they lead by only 3-0. And you made the comment that essentially these are pretty vanilla offenses that we're looking at today.
Oh, definitely. They're not offenses that really feature great passing games. They got 2 big-name quarterbacks, but both quarterbacks are yet to prove they're top-quality NFL players. What we're seeing so far today is defense bending but not breaking. When things get important and things get key down in the critical areas of the field, these defenses are really bowing up and stopping these offenses so far.
Bucks with the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 25. On the ground, Harvey. And Harvey running hard, picking up 8 yards. And Randy, not a bad job in spurts by John Harvey, who of course is replacing the injured Gary Anderson.
And Harvey on that play gained 7.5, 8 yards on that individual rush. But I can't overemphasize the fact this offense misses Gary Anderson. Where Harvey will make an 8-yard run, Gary Anderson, number 40 there, has the ability to make it an 18 or 28-yard run. He is electric. When he touches the ball, there's always a chance of a touchdown.
2nd and 2. Testaverde back to pass. Complete to Peebles, who holds on to the ball for the 1st down. Issiac Holt really nailed it. But Peebles showed with at least what the Raiders used to do with the stickum on their hands.
Well, he's got those tacky gloves on, which is very important for these wide receivers to hold on. But Holt reads the play as any good veteran is going to do. He could tell where Testaverde was going, and he unloads on Peebles, but Peebles is not about to let go.
Why tacky?
Why tacky? Because maybe sticky.
Okay.
Does sticky make more sense?
1st and 10. Flag on a play as Harvey gets a free play and tries to run. Picks up about 7 on the play, and it looked like Dallas jumped on that play as John Harvey ran around the right side for about 7 yards.
And we're getting a little bit of this wonderful, hot, muggy Florida drizzle here in Tampa right now.
Just as I called for at the top of the show, be muggy and sunny all day, right?
And as usually happens, we have a conference on a simple call.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Well, they're not really quite sure who did it, but we have a very good idea. We believe it was Jimmy Jones. You'll see him right in here, take a jump across the line of scrimmage before the snap. Number 93. 97, I'm sorry, is offside, goes down into all fours.
First and 5 from the 44. Cobb Kenny Norton with a little help from Eugene Lockhart, minimizing the amount of yardage on that play, and the rain is coming down steady on the field. I talked about minimizing the yardage on the play. There was no gain on the play. I'd say that's minimum.
And actually, it's gone from a drizzle now to a pretty good downpour.
Well, Randy, who would this favor in terms of style of play?
The people in luxury boxes, because they're not going to get wet.
Testaverde decides to put it up. And deciding to drop Testaverde was Danny Stubbs.
And Danny Stubbs told us just yesterday, Vinny Testaverde does not go very well to his left. But when he bails out and doesn't have people open, he would rather go to his right. It's my job to maintain control. Watch Danny Stubbs. He's going to be coming up here against Taylor, the right tackle, and he's going to maintain his position on the quarterback. So Vinny, he's going against Ron Hall, the tight end. That's a mismatch. But Vinny has nowhere to go. Stubbs is controlling Vinny's right the whole way.
Brings up a 3rd and 22, a loss of 17 on the play. Testaverde back to pass and gets dropped again. Tony Tolbert comes in and sacks Vinny Testaverde. An 11-yard loss on the play. So Dallas with 4 sacks. Vinny Testaverde, a loss of 43 yards thus far.
As the rain comes down, it's good coverage downfield because Vinny early has good pass protection. Then Jeffcoat and Tolbert. Tolbert gets him low, number 92, and Jeffcoat gets him high. That's the kind of hit that can rack up a quarterback and cause lateral injuries to the knees.
Mark Royals, first-year player on to punt for Tampa. And barely gets it off. What a beauty as Rod Harris gets turned around, and it takes a Tampa bounce and roll down to the 23-yard line. A 52-yard punt by Mark Royals. Colorado's attack, the game with Orange Bowl implications. That'll be next Saturday at 2 o'clock, and right here we've got a 3-0 ball game. Tampa on top with 5:57 remaining in the first half. Aikman, play action on first down. Throws it incomplete. And the intended receiver was Kelvin Martin. And Aikman, although he got rid of it, boy, did he feel the shot.
And he had to get rid of it early because he knew he had Davis 79 and he had Thomas number 51 who actually put the wood on him coming, and that really forced him to throw that thing short of Martin.
Roderick Thomas had an outstanding game against Dallas the last time with 3 quarterback sacks. 2nd and 10. Dallas from its own 22. Incomplete as it bounced off the hands of Alonzo Highsmith. And Highsmith expressing his frustration last week with not getting enough playing time.
Well, also in the passing game, Highsmith hasn't really been featured in a passing game since he was at Miami playing for the Hurricanes. He said, I went to Houston and didn't run a pass pattern the whole time I was there. He's having a tough time adjusting to this Dallas Cowboy passing offense. The run offense he's got down cold. It's getting used to pass patterns and where he fits in a passing offense.
3rd and 10 from the shotgun. Aikman falls and throws. They call it a sack? They do. A loss of 7 on the play. Bring up a punting situation for the Cowboys.
And a very alert play by a veteran referee, Jerry Markwright. Saw Troy Aikman's knees going down to the ground despite his efforts to throw the ball and marked him where he kneeled.
John Cannon was the one who helped Aikman down to the ground. 9th-year veteran out of William and Mary. Mike Saxon on to punt. Willie Drury back for the Buccaneers. 2 And Drury signals for the fair catch at the 43. So Tampa will start with excellent field position after that 42-yard punt.
Aikman, and he's just going to make Troy jump and trip enough to land right on the back of Mark Tuinet's legs, and they're calling that a sack right there. The knee is down on the ground, no matter what the intent is. And there's big John Cannon, a man, I think the word survivor fits the best.
And a positive thinker. First and 10 from the 43, its own 43, Tampa on the ground. Cobb ahead to the 45, a gain of 2 on the play, 5:06 remaining. And after a brief rain hits Tampa Stadium, it's clear again. Near capacity crowd back in their dry seats now. James Brown along with Randy Cross in Tampa on the strength of a 23-yard field goal by Steve Christie. Leads it 3-0. 4:46 remaining in the first half.
We've seen both offenses functioning in spasms and jerks. It's been really a defensive struggle inside the 30 towards the goal line. These defenses have bowed up and stopped them cold.
2nd and 8 from the 45. Testaverde fires a strike for the first down to Willie Drury. And Ray Horton on the tackle, assisted by Bill Bates. 13-yard pass play into Dallas territory.
Well, we talked about how important field position was to an offense or to a team, as well as time of possession. Look at Tampa. Tampa has started at an average of the 37-yard line, yet they only have 3 points. Dallas starting at their own 18. That is horrible field position. To have the ball on the 37 as Tampa has, it's inexcusable not to produce points.
Mark carry it to the near side. Danny Peebles to the top. Lone back is Cobb. First and 10. Play action. Testaverde throws it complete to Peebles for the first down. The speedster from North Carolina State holding on to some good catches here.
And Dallas has stopped putting the pressure through the blitz on Vinny and giving him a chance to sit back and throw it. And he's starting to pick this Dallas Cowboy injured defensive backfield apart. Albritton, you see, chasing the receiver Peebles right there. Number 36 is slowed by a deep thigh bruise. It's hard to run full speed when your leg's hurting like that.
Actually tore a calf muscle in the preseason. He's in the slot now. First and 10. Ball at the 24 of Dallas. Testaverde complete for another first down to that man Peebles. 14-yard pass play. Well, Frank Pillow was a little upset with Peebles starting and getting some action before him last week. My gosh, tough one now.
Well, earlier in the game, they were emphasizing carrier, and we said they don't know who Pillow and Peebles are. I think Dallas has got it figured out. They now know who Danny Peebles is, number 83, a fine diving catch. But I think this reinforces what we talked about last play. Vinny Testaverde and the offensive coaches for the Bucs have got this Dallas defense right now figured out. As disciplined as it is, they need pressure on the quarterback. They can't stand up in the defensive backfield against a quarterback throwing the spots like Testaverde.
First and 10 from the 11, complete inside the 5. Testaverde to Peebles again. 7-yard pass play. And Peebles in some kind of shape being utilized on this drive with 2:05 remaining. And this will take us down to the 2-minute warning as Tampa leads it by a field goal, but threatening at the 2 of Dallas.
AT&T, the right
team at the 3 of Dallas, looking to try and score a touchdown this time. Jimmy Johnson's team trailing goal.
Well, we've mentioned that these defenses are really bending but not breaking so far in this drive. Dallas is at least cracking. I think it's critical for their chance in this ball game with a chance of a win at this point to stop them here and hold them to a field goal, not let them in the end zone. And the key to that is going to be filling all the gaps here. They've got to fill the gaps, stuff down the run, and get after Vinny.
Tampa can get a first down if they get to the 1. It's 2nd and 2, ball at the 3. Cobb. Ken Norton. And Vinny Testaverde, 4 out of 4 on this drive of 40 yards. Tampa Bay with 2 timeouts remaining. Dallas with the full complement of 3. 1:39 and counting.
Well, Testaverde and the Bucs have tested one time here on the inside of the Dallas defense. Fine penetration by Noonan and Norton. I'd look for them to either go outside with a sweep or a quick swing pass to one of the backs.
Out of the I formation, John Harvey, the tailback. Peebles wide open. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. It was a Testaverde to Peebles hookup throughout the drive, and appropriately so on the touchdown.
And this is like a classic case of, I got him, you take him, because nobody is even anywhere near Danny Peebles. Everybody wanted to blitz and go after Vinny. They forgot, we got to cover these guys.
And the point after by Christie is good. So Peebles with his first touchdown reception of the season, and Tampa moves out to a 10-0 lead. Closer for Tampa, they lead at 10-0 over Dallas with 1:19 remaining in the first. 57 yards, 3-4 plays, all involved Danny Peebles. 4 catches for 42 yards. Final, a 2-yard touchdown strike. Christie kicking off for the Bucs. Dallas, again, with the full complement of timeouts remaining. Tampa with 2. From the 4, Dixon. Flag on the play as Dixon takes it across the 40. So James Dixon with an excellent return. But there's a flag back near the 27-yard line. Ricky Reynolds forces him out of bounds.
This is going to be holding or illegal use of hands against the kick return team, against Dallas.
Illegal block, number 57 on the return, first down.
Vincent Smith looked to have his hand in the back of the Tampa Bay guy that was trying to cover the kick, and he didn't do it halfway. He did it right in front of the official.
Don't forget, coming up at halftime, Greg and Terry in New York with all the scores and highlights, and they'll bring us up to date with what's taking place around the league. That'll be coming up at halftime. So the Cowboys, instead of excellent field position, start from their own 10. First and 10. 4 wideouts in. 1:13 left in the first half. Aikman throws it complete and fighting his way near the first down marker. Novacek. 6'4", 235, 60-year player out of Wyoming. Play stop.
So they're calling this a
first down. Well, a very favorable spot. Gives the Cowboys first down, so it's a 1st and 10.
Dallas has to get more vertical. They can't get them in 10-yard chunks. It's just not enough time.
Incomplete, intended receiver Kelvin Martin, as Novacek slipped on the play.
And Kelvin Martin, we discussed earlier, is the one real high-quality wide receiver that the Dallas Cowboys possess, and in this situation is where it's the most glaring. The Dallas is suffering not having quality wide receivers on their team. You get down to this 2-minute drill, you've got to have the wide receivers that can get there and make opportunities and make plays happen. You can't rely on tight ends in the 2-minute drill. You've got to have wide receivers.
40 seconds remaining in the first half. 2nd and 10. Aikman sacked. Looked to be Winston Moss.
Winston Moss, number 58, sacked him, and Broderick Thomas, number 51, laid on him and talked to him about it.
Well, Tampa now has 20 sacks. Came into the game with a leading 18.
Thomas will come around this way, and they shall meet at Mr. Aikman. Moss is a very businesslike gentleman about it. He just makes the sack. But Thomas wants to lay on top of both of them and tell them what a good play it was.
And he will do that. That was a Dallas timeout, leaving both the Cowboys and the Bucs with 2 apiece. 3rd and 17 with 36 seconds remaining in the first half. Cowboys from their own 13. Aikman going up top, looking for Novacek. And Novacek, what a great attempt as he tried to steal that one. Good presence on the part of Novacek with an excellent attempt.
For you young players out there, you want to see concentration on a football? Watch Novacek. He never takes his eyes off it. He's got it once. He's got it twice. He's got it 3 times. Now it's out and it's gone. But he never took his eye off the ball in spite of bumping into people, people slapping the ball, people slapping his hands. In that kind of traffic, would have been a great catch if he'd have made it.
Came into the game 11th in receiving in the NFC, the only tight end in the top 11. Saxon. And Drury lets it take a bounce. And it takes a Dallas roll to about the 36 of the Bucks with 15 seconds remaining. A 51-yard boot by Saxon as Testaverde gets last-minute instructions from Ray Perkins.
A lot of the times you see teams just kind of fall on the ball. Ray Perkins and the Tampa Bay Bucks have a very conservative, very, very conservative image. Vinny's gone like no more than 20 yards downfield previously against Dallas. So far today, he's hit some good passes. I look for him to go deep, try to make a big play. It's not too bad. They need 30 yards to get into field goal range.
3 wide out send. Testaverde dumps it off to Cobb, and Cobb tries to head to the sidelines, loses the ball, and it's recovered by Dallas. So Dallas recovers. Vince Albritton. And Albritton, who was questionable as a starter today because of a bruised thigh, comes up with the alert play with 5 seconds remaining.
The thing to watch here, though, is disappointing for the Tampa Bay Bucks, as this fumble is by Cobb. You got to see if Albritton has both feet in and possession. He's got it. I don't know from that replay whether or not he's got it. We'll take one more look at it. Watch 36 Albritton come in here. He's got to have the ball and both feet in. It's almost out. I don't think so. I don't think that was a fumble. I think that should be Tampa Bay's ball as a fumble out of bounds.
Well, Gary Markwright whistled to stop the clock and talk with the umpire, who I'm sure is in communication with the replay booth upstairs. Bob Beeks, of course, the replay official on site here today.
I'll say it one more time. The emphasis is on the fact that you must have possession of the ball, clear possession, and both feet inbound.
Well, if that's the case, then this one will be reversed then with 5 seconds remaining.
We'll see it one more time here, but remember, with replay, there are no such things as absolutes. They're never absolutely right, and they're never absolutely wrong, but it absolutely usually takes too long.
Well, they need an absolutely clear picture in order to reverse it. Well, the picture must not have been very clear.
Well, they're showing on the big Jumbotron TV here in the end zone a replay from the far, far, far back where it does appear he had possession in time.
Aikman to Martin, and Martin out of bounds with 2 seconds remaining.
I don't understand this. Is this ball a little bit wet? It rained a little bit earlier, but the ball's popping out and then spurting all over the place.
That's the 3rd time someone has lost control of it.
And a long field goal for Willis coming up here. Would appear to be about a 52-yarder he's going to have to attempt.
And keep in mind that he missed a 42-yarder earlier. 41 yards this year is his longest. This will be a 53-yard attempt by Ken Willis, the rookie out of Kentucky.
All conditions must be perfect on this play for this field goal to be good by Keith Willis. The snap must be good. The holder, Novacek, must have a perfect placement, because this is well, I believe, out of Willis's range.
That's kind of interesting. Gene Novacek, a tight end, holding. Is that a little unusual?
I think your guy with the surest hands that works the best with the kicker is the guy you have hold. Some teams use quarterbacks, some teams use punters.
Don't find many with tight ends, though, holding.
Dallas is blessed with tight ends with exceptional hands.
Now, there seems to be a little controversy on the field, and Jimmy Johnson's trying to understand it as the clock ran out before the ball was snapped.
Are they calling this an intentional fumble out of bounds? and no called timeout by Dallas, so the clock did not stop.
Well, Jimmy Johnson wants to get an explanation on this.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, it's too late now. These teams are going to be clearing off the field. At least one of the teams is clearing off the field. And Jimmy Johnson is not happy. Jimmy is saying, we call timeout. We call timeout.
And Jay Novacek was the one to have called timeout.
And Horton, number 20, is helping out Jerry Markbright. Johnson's trying to help him out. But I think it's a losing argument, Coach. See, this is one of those circumstances, a head coach like Jimmy Johnson is going to get explanations by letter. Now watch the clock in the lower right-hand side. Look at Novacek. He's calling timeout right here. He's going to call timeout, but he isn't getting it. They started the clock. Time expired. It won't do any good 3 or 4 days from now, but Jimmy Johnson will get a complete explanation of what happened just now by form of a letter from the NFL.
Well, part of Johnson's argument was correct. His players did signal timeout, but it's all for nothing at halftime.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota's quality line of cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. Northwest Airlines, serving over 220 cities in 20 countries on 3 continents. And by Coors Light, the one that won't slow you down. The Silver Bullet is the right beer now.